Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com.
How do you get to heaven? Do I really have to read the Bible? How do I pray? Did Jesus really walk on water? That's a doozy.
The podcast where kids can get answers to their big questions about faith. Here's your host, Pastor Eric.
Well, welcome. I'm Pastor Eric, and this show is all about asking questions that are, well, hard, and questions that we're always wondering about. And, it's always good to be asking questions. And so today we have two very special people who are going to be asking some really good questions about faith, about God, about the Bible. And I want to introduce them to you. First, we have, who's over here to my right?
I'm Ben.
Ben, how old are you?
11.
You're 11. Pretty cool. All right. And Ben, what's your favorite food?
Probably steak or burgers.
Steak or burgers. All right. And then who's our other guest right over here?
Lucas.
Lucas, how old are you?
9.
9. What's your favorite food?
Hot dogs or pizza.
Hot dogs or pizza. Have you ever tried hot dog pizza?
No.
Maybe we should try that sometime. And something a little special for me, Ben and Lucas are my sons. So this is kind of exciting. And even pastors' kids have lots of questions about faith, about God, about the Bible, right?
Yeah.
We're always asking questions. So you both thought of some questions that you wanted to ask. So Ben, I'm going to let you ask the first question, and then we'll get to it.
Okay. Oh, what if you get bored in heaven?
What if you get bored in heaven? Whoa. I have to be honest. I've never had that question asked before. Ben, do you ever get bored?
Yes.
I kind of knew that. That's a really good question. And why do you think people would be bored in heaven?
Because you live forever?
Because you live forever, and forever's a really long time, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Well, that's a really good question, Ben. And I believe that the Bible it tells us the answer. And if we look in the Bible towards the very end, to the last book of the Bible, do you know what the last book of the Bible is? It starts with an R.
Revelation?
Oh, very good. Yeah, Revelation. And it talks about the new heavens and the new earth and what it will be like. And it explains how the multitudes will be worshiping God forever. But sometimes when we think about heaven, being in heaven and worshiping God, we kind of think that it's going to be like a really long church service. Now, be honest, Lucas, would a long church service, even if it was like the best music, a long church service forever, would you be like super excited about that forever? You can be honest.
Not really.
Okay, thank you for being honest. But the truth is, like, heaven isn't actually going to be just like singing songs the whole time. We know that heaven is going to be a new heaven and a new earth, which means we're going to be in our new bodies, and we're going to be the way that God intended heaven and earth to be in the first place. Now, this is what's kind of cool. That means in our new bodies, in the new heaven and in a new earth, there are going to be so many things that we can explore and so many things that we can do. Not just singing songs, which will be good, right? But we'll be learning so much about God's amazing creation. What are some things that you love about this world or God's creation?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, like going outside.
What about outside?
It's just fun to play.
Okay, so playing outside. How about you, Lucas? What are some things that you enjoy about God's creation?
That he made us.
That he made us. Okay, what are some things that fascinate you about creation?
I don't know.
Well, imagine being able to explore all the things about science, exploring the ocean, exploring space and the stars, and being able to do that over and for a really long time. And so all the questions that we have about Earth and the universe and what God made, we get to explore that stuff, right? And on top of being able to explore in the new heavens and the new earth, we're going to be able to have we will have a relationship with God, and we'll be able to be with Jesus in person, and we get to do that forever, which is pretty exciting. All right. Now, does that raise any other questions in your mind?
No.
No. But does it help you understand that there's going to be a lot more than just singing songs, which there will be worship and singing, but there's going to be so much more in the new heaven and the new earth in forever. So, okay. All right, Lucas, what do you have a question? You want to read the next question you guys had?
Yeah. What if you don't want to live in heaven forever?
What if you don't want to live in heaven forever? Oh, that is another interesting question. I think that's kind of similar to what we talked about with what if we are bored, right? That kind of goes in there in that category. And I think that what you will find in heaven is that with our new bodies and being in God's presence, it is going to be exciting to continually learn about God, to know God, and to discover more about His love and His goodness. I want to teach you guys a big word, okay? Have you ever heard of the word infinite?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the word finite?
No.
Okay, these are big words for kids. I don't know. I was older when I learned about these. But what does it mean if something's infinite?
It goes on forever.
It goes on forever. What's something that you wish could go on forever?
Screen time. Lucas would probably say screen time.
Oh, he would say screen time? Lucas, what do you think your brother would say?
Playing outside.
Playing outside? Okay. Well, infinite, you're right. It means going on forever. So what do you think finite means?
The same thing.
You think it means the same
Oh, the
thing?
opposite.
The opposite, right? If something is finite, it means it has a limit. It stops. It has a certain capacity. It's like a cup. If you fill a cup, eventually what's going to happen?
It's going to spill.
It's going to spill. It's going to overflow. Well, God is. Do you think God is finite, or do you think God is infinite?
Infinite.
Infinite. You are correct. He is infinite, right? He is all-knowing. He's all-powerful. He's eternal. He lives forever. He knows everything. He created everything. Do you think humans are infinite?
No.
In heaven, but not in earth.
Oh, do you think we're going to be infinite in heaven?
Yes.
Oh, interestingly, I don't think we are. What? Yeah. We won't be infinite because God created us with limits, right? But the cool thing is, in heaven, when we have our new bodies, maybe when I have do you think I'll have a full head of hair in heaven?
I think you look better without, but maybe.
Well, we'll find out, right?
If you want to.
Okay. Well, in heaven, we'll still be finite, which means we'll have limits. We're not going to ever be able to know everything. But if God is infinite, that means it'll take us forever to learn about God's goodness and greatness. And it will be so exciting as we learn more about God and His creation and everything that He made. So, to answer your question, what if we don't want to be there? I really don't think that will be an issue. I think once we're in heaven, we will love it. You guys are asking some good questions. All right, Ben, you want to ask another question?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we do anything in heaven?
Can we do anything in heaven? What do you think?
Well, maybe good stuff.
Okay, so that's a really good distinction right there.
Like powers, like could you fly, and like powers that you couldn't do on Earth.
Okay, so that's a really good way to think about that question and talking about it. So first off, can we do anything? Well, in heaven, we're only going to do those things which God permits, which he allows, which he created us to do, right? Because what was the problem in the very beginning? What did Adam and Eve do in the garden? They sinned. They broke God's command. And so they no longer had that good relationship with God, right? Because sin came into the world. So first off, in heaven, we won't sin, right? There won't be any sin. There won't be any pain or suffering. But the question is, what else can we do? Can we fly? Well, you know what? The Bible doesn't say one way or the other if we can fly or not. But this is what we do know.
Well, not like just flying, but like other stuff.
Other stuff? Well, I think we will have new bodies. And they're going to be the bodies kind of like God meant them to be. So we're going to be super healthy. And things like germs or, won't get us sick, and other things like our minds will be super sharp. Like, have you ever had like a time in school when you were just feeling like you just knew all the answers and your brain was working really well? And have you ever had days where your mind was kind of cloudy?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Well, I think when we're in heaven, our brains are going to be on, and they are going to be super, super sharp. And so we're going to think clearly. I think we're going to be stronger and able to run faster, maybe jump higher. Yeah. You excited about that?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe swim further. But we're going to still have our physical bodies. So we'll have limitations of our physical bodies, but they'll be able to do more because sin will not be affecting us. It won't be holding us down. We won't be sick, right? So what would you do with a body that was not affected by sin?
I don't know. I could probably be outside or something like that all day.
Oh,
yeah. Like, we wouldn't get tired, so we would, be, sometimes at recess, I get tired because, I've been running, but, we probably wouldn't get tired and stuff, so that would be, we could just do, some kids, baseball, they could, do it, all day.
Yeah. I mean, just think how much Foursquare you could play.
A lot.
A lot, yeah. All right, that was a really fun question. I like that one. Let's see. I think we have one more question. Lucas, what's our last question?
Do we eat in heaven?
Do we eat in heaven? Oh man. Well, before we answer, what would you want to eat in heaven?
Anything.
Anything? So you'd like rocks? Would you like to try rocks?
Sure.
Oh. What do you think? We've kind of talked about what it might be like in heaven. What do you think the answer is? Do you think we'll eat?
Well, I don't think we need to, but probably if we wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, because God is going to give us new, real bodies, what do these bodies need to be energized and to have strength?
Food.
Energy. Food and energy, yeah. So I think that we will eat in heaven, and I think it's going to be one of God's special gifts to us, because I think the food is going to be delicious. And Ben, when you eat your steak, there will be no burnt steak, is what I think.
Or fat.
Or no fat on the steak. It'll be just to your liking. And Lucas, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there will be hot dog pizzas in heaven. No, I don't know what the food.
Could you eat treats and not get sick?
That is a really good question, but all I can tell you right now, Ben, is we're not in heaven, so we can't have treats all the time. Do you like that answer?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well, those are really good questions. I'm so glad you asked that. I bet you there are other boys and girls who have had similar questions to what you said. And just remember, it is always good to ask questions about your faith. Ask questions about God, because God is a God of truth, and we don't have to be afraid of finding out the truth. It's always a good thing. All right. Well, boys, can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Well, I'm Pastor Eric. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope that you enjoyed listening in on some of these questions that we got to answer.
See ya.
That's
a doozy. Thanks for listening. Do you have a question you want to ask? You can tell us at purposely.com. Just click on voicemail. Don't forget to leave a review or tell your friends about this podcast so they can listen too. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. We just wanted to take a minute to let you know that just like you and your family, Purposely is also part of a family, the Krista Family of Ministries. Krista helps kids and teens learn and grow in their faith at King Schools and Miracle Ranch Camp. And Krista shares Jesus with people in the poorest, most remote places through World Concern. Krista Senior Living is a community of love and care, and Krista Media is a place of hope on the radio. God is changing lives through these 5 ministries, and Krista is on mission to share the good news of Jesus. To learn more, visit krista.org.